Hi everybody, welcome to this general playthrough for the 18-hole cup and divisions that you can see displayed on the screen right now. Before we look at the shots, please hit thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Replays and adjustments for all 18 holes, you will find timestamps in the description down below, and remember to tweak according to your club's balls and play style, as well of course as the different wind angles that you may experience during the week, because this is a general playthrough only, but we'll give you an idea of how you might want to approach the holes. Bear in mind, some of these shots may feature old replays from the archives here on the channel, and in which case they will have the old ball attribute levels. So please watch carefully and write down any tweaks as needed. Good luck. Here we go. One, which is a par 4. Now I'm going to play with the extra mile on the left hand side here, 4.2 backspin and 1 bar side spin to the left with a katana ball, setting up at max distance with the power 2 ball. First bounce in the middle of the fairway, ball guide pointing centre fairway as well. Then we're going to adjust max distance 10% elevation. If you don't want to play this shot, you could play over on the right hand side as well, but I have an eagle drop to show you here playing left hand side, or you could bounce over with a lot of top spin if you are able to. Perfect ball away, and the max plus 10 adjustment means we bounce very nicely in the centre of the fairway and the ball checks up, not threatening the rough at the end, but still a good distance of 303 yards. Second shot, we're going to play with our short iron. If you want, you can play a rough bump with 2 bars of top spin, catching the downslope if you want to be more aggressive and you have 2 top spin available. But if not, here is an eagle playing with between 3 and 4 bars of backspin. Add your spin. I want to bounce on that small downslope, aim at the pin, leave the ball guide short accordingly. And here the adjustment is true club distance plus 5. So that's TC on the screen. So find the max line, find the minimum distance line and work out where you are in distance of your club. This one is played in between mid and max, around 70% slider. If the slider is new to you, check out the Academy tutorial playlist on the channel homepage. So here, adjusting 70% slider, 5% elevation, aiming at the pin with the backspin, and a perfect ball here is going to have a very good chance of a drop with good estimation given to your club distance. There we see the backspin grabs, and we drop it beautifully for an eagle on hole number 1. We have a hole-in-one to show you here on hole number 2. I'm playing with a sniper, but you don't have to use a sniper. You can play with the Viper instead. Going with 3.5 backspin and 1 bar side spin to the left, playing with a Titan, so I've got room to adjust, even if I have headwind angle. Adding my spin, finding the position, top of plus 2 with a sniper at level 6, and I'm aiming with a second bounce just beyond the rough because the tailwind will carry me slightly further on. So leaving the ball guide short, adjusting max plus 20. Max plus 20 here. If you've got high level clubs, you can of course play with a rough bump, but you need a lot of backspin. So for true rookies, it's going to beat the bounce over shot, but still a decent chance. Perfect ball away. We could end up putting a little bit more backspin on this one. Comes in slightly hot, but it hits the pin and drops for a lovely hole-in-one on this par 3. Hole number 3, always a tough hole to get an albatross on, but I'm showing you a super safe route for the eagle. I do recommend you go with the berserker ball, that is a power 5 ball, as it will make the second shot much easier. Playing with the quarterback for the accuracy, minor great left, minor great right will still be absolutely fine. I'm not playing with any top spin or backspin, but I'm using 2 bars of side spin to the right, setting up with the blue ring touching the rough at plus 22 yards with the quarterback level 6. Adjustment here is maximum distance, 10% elevation, so max plus 10 on this one, power 5 settings, as that is of course the ball we're using. Then we're going to take our shot, no overpower needed, we just want to hit a nice perfect ball. Like I said, great ball is of course fine as well, but a perfect ball is of course what we want. Drive approaches the end of the fairway very nicely, and you're looking for a drive distance of around 306 yards, give or take. Second shot, we will need a wood club with distance, and this is where a power 5 ball comes in, because we don't want to go with too much overpower, especially using the big dog with low accuracy. I go with 3.5 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the left here, add your spin and set up close to max distance with a second bounce halfway into the rough patch. The aim here is to get safely onto green for the eagle rather than attack the pin for the albatross, especially with this new pin location. Could take a little bit of topspin off here. We do come in a little bit too long, but it's still going to leave us with an easy putt for the eagle. Adjust max +5 takes me a little bit into overpower, so I add a couple of clicks of overpower on and playing with outer wall curl to the left. You don't have to do that. It will bring you slightly more into the pin, but of course we don't want to risk hitting the bunker with our second bounce. But there you go, it takes us very nicely onto the green. A little bit less topspin would end up closer to the pin, but still we're putting for the eagle. Very, very good chance for an eagle. I like the big topper for the large amount of topspin needed. And it is 8 topspin and 2 right spin, playing with a Titan because we need the distance. Setting up at max distance with big topper level 3, second bounce in the rough in between the nice gap between those trees. Max +10 is the adjustment here. We're going to go with half a ball of curl to the right just to bring the ball in towards the green a little bit nearer. Important to hit perfect, of course, with the big topper. You can play this with an extra mile, but you would need a power 5 ball. Rolls out and leaves a very nice wedge for an eagle. There will be 2 shots here really that offer the best chance at the hole-in-one. You can bounce over, but the rough bump is the best. Problem with the bounce over is speed control, and you will most likely roll off the back of the green and down into the rough. So we are going to have to play aggressive with the rough bump. In crosswind or tailwind, we'll be playing with a wood club and a power 3 ball, as I do here. A hint of top spin and a few clicks of left spin. Aim at the pin, leave the ball guide short, unless of course you have a high-level sniper. Then we adjust max +20. If we have any form of headwind, then you'll be playing with the quarterback for the accuracy here, and then you'll be playing at min distance with either a marlin or a navigator, so that you can set up at the minimum distance line. Otherwise, if you've got a power 2 plus ball, you won't be able to set up in the rough. Look a little bit tricky, but actually with a very good planned route, got a brilliant chance for an albatross, and that's what we have here. Between 2.5 and 3 bars of top spin and 3 bars side spin to the left. I'm using a katana for the side spin to the left. Obviously your top spin will vary depending what wind you have, but I'm setting up at max distance with extra mile level 6 in the centre of the fairway, and have the ball guide in the centre of the fairway beyond. We don't want to go too far with the top spin because the fairway we're aiming onto slopes down to the right. I push my rings to adjust so that the trees are not in the way, and I adjust max distance 10% elevation. A little bit of curl to the left, which I actually didn't need in this wind angle. The second bounce is a bit close to the rough, so anything with wind from right to left, as I have here, you won't need the curl, but I would suggest it if you have the wind the opposite way round. Not threatening the rough though, and we're rolling nicely in the middle of the fairway. Second shot, playing with thorn, and we're going to add a little bit of backspin and 2 bars side spin to the right, and then assuming you have general rookie level clubs for the thorn, you're going to leave the ball guide short because you won't have a fully developed ball guide with anything less than a thorn level 8. So leave it a bit short, aim at the pin, and here in the video I'm going medium distance 25% elevation, so that's medium distance plus 25. Very nice to be able to use the short iron for an albatross attempt on the par 5, and like I said, picking a nice route as we do here in the video to that fairway gives us an excellent chance for a drop. Playing with 25% elevation, as this is a little bit more downhill, but you'll see it works absolutely beautifully, and we drop it right at the pin. Viper, but again you can use the sniper if you have it. Going with just under 4 bars of backspin, 1 bar side spin to the right. We have cross headwind here in this example, and setting up with a second bounce in the middle of the fringe, and then the ball guide aiming at the pin as best we can. In the video I play max +10% elevation, however you'll see here from the result of the shot this is over adjusted slightly, so my recommendation, especially in this wind angle, would be as a tweak to go max +5 instead. Just gives us slightly less adjustment and would have a better chance of dropping for the hole-in-one. However, even with this first look at the hole, we come in very nicely, just missing to the right, so max +5 would have been a good tweak in that situation. Very good chance for a hole-in-one. I'm going to show you an aggressive option here in tailwind angle. Good to try and get to the green or close if we can, but it is an aggressive route, so may not be for everyone. going with max top spin with the extra mile level 6 and 2 bars side spin to the right. We aim close to the tree, add your spin, look at the aim point and also the second bounce. This is, like I said, a bit of a daring shot. We go max plus 10, pushing the rings because the trees are in the way. Then I don't push up to max because going with overpower, 4 rings of overpower gives me a slower needle. Half a ball of curl to the right, and again you want to try and hit perfect here. Great left, great right with the accuracy of the extra mile level 6 will most likely end up clipping the rough and rolling out or getting stuck in the rough. But a perfect ball rolls down very nicely. If you have a driver with more topspin, go with that because you'll get on the green. 406 yards. Second shot, I'm using the Endbringer School method, which is a very well-known method up in the higher divisions, but we can use it in rookie regardless of what wedge you have. Find out how to use this method by looking at my quickfire Endbringer tutorial on the Academy playlist link on the channel home page. Finding our club distance, no spin, ball guide to hole, and we play with 15% elevation. I estimate this one to be 55% slider. That is a measurement where the pin stands in between your ball and max distance of club. Perfect ball away here. If you don't want to use this method, you can just eyeball it and play by feel instead, or go with max topspin, whichever is preferred. But in tailwind, we want to try and get an eagle on this par 4. We've got a safe eagle here and almost got a drop for the albatross. We've got a nice zoom in as well. Going with the quarterback for the curl and a katana or a kingmaker because you need 3 bars of side spin. So 2.5 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the right, and we're adjusting max plus 10 from the top of plus 2 yards with the quarterback level 6. Perfect ball away with full curl to the right, which is approximately 1.5 ball of curl. Perfect ball bounces nicely before the rough and rolls down on the fairway. Don't need to go any further than that. If you've got a driver with more curl, then that would be advantageous. It would just reduce the tree being in the way for the second shot. We're absolutely fine here though, and here again we need 3 bars of side spin, and we're playing with backspin with a wood club with distance, so go with a big dog as you may be short if you have the Viper or the Sniper. 3.5 backspin, 3 bars side spin to the left, finding our position there, aiming just right of pin because the wind will push us to the left. If you're worried about the tree being in your way, you can of course set up further to the right, especially with crosswind from left to right, and play with more curl. I'm at mid distance of club, so I play mid plus 10. And then here I don't go with any curl. If you're worried about a great left, play with some left curl to compensate and take the tree out of the equation. We don't want to jeopardize the eagle here. We want to make sure that is absolutely locked in the bag. Perfect ball, backspin grabs very nicely. We get a zoom in, just missing the albatross, but honestly be happy with an eagle on this tough par 5. Please do join us over on Facebook. We have an ever-growing community of players there, over 16,000 members. Head over to Facebook, search for BK Golf Clash and submit your member request there. Free to join. There are free guides posted, lots of shot sharing and discussion points. You can chat and interact with me as well, and loads more over on Facebook. So head over there and search for BK Golf Clash. On this par 3, I'm going to show you a very simple bounce-up shot. There is a rough bump available there, you can see just above where I'm aiming if you want to go for it. But for those that don't, here is a nice hole-in-one with a bounce-up. I'm using the Viper. My reference is the red ring touching both of the parts of the bunker. Then I'm adding spin, don't need anything other than a navigator or a marlin here. And I'm applying backspin to have the ball guide short of pin, and we're aiming at the pin as well. Obviously the spin bounce will vary depending what wind direction we've got. Here, even though I'm mid-distance of club, I'm playing maximum distance numbers with 10% elevation. I did try mid plus 10, but it was a little bit under-adjusted in various wind directions, so I found that max plus 10 works very nicely here. The backspin steadies the ball beautifully, and we drop it for a hole-in-one. Now we're going to play over on the right-hand side with the extra mile and a quasar. 2 bars left spin, and not too much top spin here. We don't want to roll too long, so it's going to be between 1 and 2 bars depending the wind angle that you've got. Finding landing position in the middle of the fairway, ball guide is shown. I push adjust my rings because otherwise the trees will be in the way, and my adjustment is max plus 10 on this one. Maximum distance 10% elevation. With any headwind, you might want a power 2 ball or a power 3 ball just to prevent any overpower required. A little bit of curl to the right just to maintain the line that we want on the drive here. Perfect ball is bouncing up with the top spin and going nicely in the centre of the fairway just before the dogleg, 316 yards. Second shot now, going to play with the Guardian because we need backspin. Even with a low level, it's going to be absolutely fine. We don't need full backspin here, but with the Guardian level 4, playing with as much as I can. Then we are going to aim with the ball guide just to the right of the pin. That's because the wind is going to push us slightly to the left, and also we have a bit of tailwind as well. Maximum distance, 5% elevation on this one. Max plus 5. I like the Guardian. Like I said, you need plenty of backspin here to hold onto the green if you miss the eagle. It is a tough shot to get the eagle here, but we want to give it a go. And if we miss, at least we'll be close to the pin. Very, very close there. Just a little bit short, so slight modification needed, but that gives you an idea of the approach we need. I play with the quarterback and a side spin 3 ball. 2 bars of top spin. Again, this is a problem where you could end up with too much top spin and be really close to the rough. So make sure that you don't roll too long here. The amount of top spin is going to vary depending on the wind strength. I wouldn't go any more than this in tailwind. You may need a little bit more if you have headwind. Using a quarterback for the accuracy and curl. The adjustment is medium distance, 10% elevation, and then we're going with just over 3/4 of ball curl to the left. Perfect ball here, bounces very nicely, and it just parks up before the rough, so definitely no more topspin than that. We want to give ourselves a little bit more room. Second shot, I'm playing with the big dog. I can guarantee that I'm going to reach with the big dog. If you have higher level sniper or viper, that is an option as well, but the priority here is just to get to the green and secure the eagle. Going to be tough to drop the albatross, but still an outside chance. Going with all of the backspin that's available here, and 3 bars side spin to the right so that I don't set up too close to the rough or the sand. The adjustment on this one, maximum distance, 0 elevation. If you're playing with a different wood club, I would recommend going with a power 3 ball, so you can still use the viper or maybe the sniper as well. Will give you a bit more room on your club. But a perfect ball here, we bounce in the middle of the fairway and we're leaving ourselves a very simple putt to grab the eagle on this par 5. To go with a Titan in the end. Playing directly over the rough. If you've got low level clubs, you will have to bounce over instead, but extra mile 6 is going to be fine to go directly over with a power 3 ball. 1.5 top spin, 1 bar side spin to the right, aim on the middle of the fairway. They're at max distance, adjusting max plus 10. We don't need any push up or any curl here. Play a standard shot. Headwind, this shot would need you to go with some overpower, so you may need to rethink according to your clubs and what shots you like to play. But a perfect ball bounces very nicely there and rolls towards the end of the fairway. Drive distance of 339 yards. That is going to be absolutely fine for a short iron second shot. Using the thorn, other short irons will work nicely as well, so go with what you have. And we're going to play here true club distance plus 10% elevation. I play a no spin shot and make sure the ball guide is further back from the hole because we don't have a fully developed ball guide. I would like you to aim slightly to the left of pin. Here I go with 1 click to the left of the pin. It's not enough, and that's because there's a little slope on the green which you can't see with the lack of ball guide. I play mid plus 10 because I'm at mid distance of my club. If you have a shorter drive, you would need to maybe add a little bit to your adjustment. And the reason I want you to aim on the left-hand side of the pin or the cup is, as you can see here, this one misses just to the right. So compensate for that slope on the green here when you aim up and line up your second shot, and you'll have a very good chance for the eagle indeed. We're going to play a no movement target. So start the hole with the wood club and the ball that you want to use, in this case the navigator, and then you don't need to move the target at all until you want to adjust. I'm going with 2.8 backspin in tailwind and as much right spin as is needed to aim at the pin. It's about just under half a bar of right spin. I go with 0.4 but I needed a little bit more, and you'll see why in a moment. Mid plus 10 is the adjustment. Obviously, if you have crosswind or headwind, then you need to tweak your backspin down to around 2 to 2.5 bars, depending on the wind angle, but still the no movement target shot works very nicely. Just needed 1 click more of side spin with our mid plus 10. So the no movement target shot is a good approach, in my opinion, on hole number 8. Finish. And we have an albatross opportunity here, which I want to show you. 2.5 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the left with the quarterback. We need a kingmaker here really for distance on the second shot, as well as side spin on the drive. So add spin, red ring touching the rough with the quarterback level 6, second bounce on the next piece of fairway. The adjustment is max plus 10, which for this adjustment here is 1-on-1. So for 2.6 wind, I just 2.6 rings. Here, I don't go with any overpower, but it is full left curl. If you have a little bit more topspin available, I would recommend you add maybe a few more clicks just to get a bit more distance on the drive. You could go with maybe a few clicks of overpower as well, just to make sure you get a better placement for your second shot to attack the pin for the albatross, but if not, you're still going to get your eagle. This is a rough bump with the horizon. If you don't fancy this shot, then absolutely bounce over from the fairway there just off camera and take your eagle that way. But with the horizon, the ball guide gives us opportunity to attack the pin. A little bit of top spin, 1 bar side spin to the left. It will vary depending on your drive, and in headwind you would need overpower, so you might want to rethink your strategy in headwind. But here is a decent look at it. Find a sticky spot with your spins added. Like I said, you'd need to vary them depending on your position, and find that area where the ball guide can remain in the pin if you move your target slightly. Max plus 10 is the adjustment, catches the rough very nicely, does need a slight tweak, but it comes in with a good speed, just missing to the side there, which is the last of the par 3s. Going to show you here a shot with the Viper, but if you have Sniper, then that is a better choice as well. If you don't have the Viper or you prefer a different wood club, you can go with that as well. But the ring reference here, red ring touching the beginning of the fringe with this particular club level. Playing with a navigator, we don't need any higher power ball really, unless you've got very low level clubs. Aiming deliberately left of pin, that's because the wind, in this example we have crosswind left to right, that will push the ball to the right. So the ball guide shown, that will be in 0 wind. So remember the ball guide that you actually get, the path of the ball will vary from what you see. It'll be pushed to the right. So that's why I aim intentionally to the left. Max plus 20 on this one. Tough to get the speed right, and in different wind angles you'll need to tweak the spin and the aim slightly, but it gives you an idea here. Very nice speed, falling right in there at the pin for a lovely hole-in-one on the 7th. With the Berserker, going with the extra mile for distance and top spin, I have to stretch out to find my position. The reason I'm playing down the right side is because there's a very unhelpful tree in the way. If you're going left side, you have to play left or right of the tree, and it takes away most of the chances for an eagle. So 4.5 top spin with the Berserker, stretch out, look at how many rings I need to push up after I adjust. Max plus 10 is the adjustment. I then push up to max. I've still got some rings left from my initial position, so I'm going to apply those as overpower. Around 2.5 to 3 rings. We have a tutorial on that on the Academy home page if you need tips on how to judge the amount of overpower correctly. Important to hit perfect, of course. This fairway is slightly narrower, but we get away with a perfect, and it rolls down nicely. It looks from the camera angle here that we're not going to have a clear view of the green, but the flag just pokes out to the right of the tree, and we're going to be fine with the backbone. I check my club distance here, and I want to bounce halfway between the rough and the fringe. Nice consistent spot to aim at here, and the adjustment I'm using as we're slightly more downhill, I'm going to play this one max plus 20. So I'm aiming at the pin, then applying backspin to get the ball to steady itself nicely. Leave the ball guide short. I haven't got a fully developed ball guide obviously with the backbone, so we're going to leave that short, and the adjustment here, mid distance, 20% elevation, so mid plus 20. We adjust our rings, and we're going to have a very good chance here following on from a successful drive, and I think it is worth putting a power 5 ball on and trying to get that extra distance to try and give yourselves a good opportunity for an eagle. Just missing to the right, but a very good chance nonetheless. If you are enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to help out and keep everything free, then please consider making a small donation. All donations are gratefully received and help me out here on the channel, as all of the content here is produced for free in my own spare time. You can do that in one of three ways. You can hit the thanks button here on YouTube, you can make a PayPal donation via the link in the description down below, or you can also join us over on Patreon. Details at the end of the video. Again, there's a few options of where to play here, but I think the sensible route is going directly forward with the green in view. Use a power 3 ball here. Titan is ideal for crosswind and tailwind. A Kingmaker will help in headwind because it will reduce the amount of overpower. I put 4.5 topspin on here, but then I reduced to 4, purely to give myself a little bit of margin for error with the tailwind push, because it will give us an extended bounce than is shown on the ball guide due to the wind push. So I would go 4.5 in crosswind, but tailwind 4 topspin, headwind definitely go with 4.5, and we're going to bounce over, setting up at max distance with a power 3 ball. There we go, finding the middle of the fairway. Max plus 10 is the adjustment there, and the second shot here we can play with the long iron. We're close to minimum distance, so we don't want to push the drive any harder than that. Don't want to risk being in between clubs or rolling into the rough. This is absolutely fine. So check your club distance, apply some backspin. The backbone, very good option for true rookie clubs here. And then we're going to go aiming at the pin, almost straight tailwind. The adjustment I use here is minimum distance, 10% elevation. We just end up with this one parked just before the cut low, so a tick less backspin needed, maybe a little bit of a tweak to the landing position or slightly less adjustment, could maybe try 5%, but still a very good attempt for the Albatross. A nice true green to aim at going that route on this par 5. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.